Hello, dears. How are you today? Happy Friday. It's almost the new year. I can't believe how fast this is going. Seriously. Hope you're doing well. I'm still sick, but I still wanted to, I don't know, I'm feeling very inspired these days. So I wanted to get on and talk to you. And yeah, let me know how you're doing and what are you going to do for New Year's? So you have any plans or like what do you have any resolutions? I um I never really like New Year's because I always feel that I have to do something. I don't know. It feels like almost like a requirement to me to like go out and party, and I don't know. It's very weird. I've never really had much resonance with it since I can remember. Um, but today I wanted to talk about the word creatrix, and I've been using this word a lot, right? Over like since I've really started the Moon Goddess Wisdom Circle, and over the last year or so, I've been really getting more into what a creatrix means to me. What does it mean to be a creatrix? I really like the word creatrix because it makes me feel very powerful. It makes me feel like I'm in charge. It makes me feel like I can co-create my reality. And to me, being a creatrix goddess, being a creatrix powerful woman, means that you are aware of the universe around you, but also within you, right? And it means that we know the energies we're involved with each and every day. And we then get to co-create with the universe, right? And we also do our part to then bring harmony back within ourselves and to Mama Gaia, which I feel is when you're watching this, I feel this is why we're here. We are here to step into that power, that harmony, and that ripples through to the entire planet. Like we are so needed, right? And I'm really been feeling into that, and it's becoming really more and more important for me and in my life. Um, so I wanted to share there are a few things that led me to realizing that really very deeply within myself. Like there's just a few practices that have led me here of really feeling into that being a creatrix, right, within myself. And since then, my life has started to flow more. Like instead of everything, and this I mean every part of my life, everything being so forced. Like if you saw the video I did yesterday, like I talked about with the fists, right? Everything is so forced and stressful, and you always have to do more and more and more, and it feels like you're just punching. And instead, this allowed me to find a balance between that and actually open up to receive. And yeah, these practices, these things really allowed myself more and more to just be and receive. Excuse me. So I wanted to share 5 things with you today. And these things are really what I played with over the last year or so. They all relate to the word creatrix, right? And what it means to me. And I would love to hear your perspective and how this shows up in your life. So these are things that I've been playing with and I'm still playing with. And They all made a difference in my life in one way or another. So let's get started with number one. So number one is being a creatrix is realizing that everything vibrates and pulsates with energy, right? So anything and everything around you and within you is made up of the same particles and the same energy, right? It's just different densities and frequencies. That means everything also has a polarity, right? Because it's the beautiful light and dark. And without this polarity, without the polarity of light and dark, nothing can exist. And this is the same for your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, right? Your inner being matches the outer world and vice versa. So this is physics. And I love physics. Like, I won't pretend I know physics, but I'm very intrigued by those polarities of light and dark and the magnetism, right? So I hope that makes sense, that we'll get into it a little bit later. That your feelings and your emotions and your thoughts and your words, they are an energy as well. So then number two of being a creatrix is realizing that your womb space is your power center. And again, with physics, right, your womb space mirrors the black hole in our galaxy, right? And every single particle in the entire universe to infinity also has a little black hole. Everything has that little black hole that magnetizes, right? That polarity again. So your womb, it creates, it births, it sheds, it releases, and it knows, right? Your womb knows. It's so intuitive. This is part of your lineage. This is your womanhood. This is your power. And your yoni then brings that forth, right? It births ideas and then releases that shedding out into the world as well. And sorry guys, I'm like, my throat is like itching. But you carry with you at all times your womb and your yoni with you. Like, these are the sacred tools for for visioning and magnetizing. So some things that I have done to strengthen this is meditation, feeling into it, massaging, listening, just sitting with yourself, even if it's just a few minutes. I have been using a yoni egg, which I really recommend if you want to look into that more. I really love using my yoni egg. Like, I feel so much more present, you know, in my pelvic area. So that was number two. And then number three is once we realize the power of our womb space, of our pelvic area, we can then start to recognize how our womb mirrors our mouth, right? Our yoni mirrors our throat. And then our entire pelvic hip area, it mirrors our jaws, right? And then when we utilize the magnetism and the creative visioning of our wombs and our yonis, we can then use our speech as sacred manifesting, right? Through prayer, affirmations, mantras, song, expression, your words. And as I just shared about the physics, once we know our thoughts and our speech, our words, are an energy as well, looking for a polarity out in the world to match it, we become more mindful, right? And this is a practice. This is, we are so conditioned. It's hard to start recognizing what you're thinking the whole time, but it's very powerful to become aware. And yeah, I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please let me know. That was a cough again. So number 4 of being a creatrix is, so one of a very beautiful tool to use to get used to your own inner cycles of creating and resting and recharging and shedding, doing and being, is the moon, right? The moon's phases really act as an external template to our inner being. And it has been very helpful for me to track the moon and then get used to my own inner cycles that way. It really helped me to recognize when I need a little bit more rest, when I'm feeling very inspired and feeling the urge to create and do and set intentions. There's a lot more flow with that, because life is not a straight line, right? And to be a creatrix, it really means letting go of that straight line idea and embracing our cycles and our flow. And like I said, tracking the moon has really helped me with that. One of the practices that I did when I started tracking the moon was just seeing what the moon phase was in, what the moon phase was, see how I was feeling, maybe meditating with that, just tracking it and see how you feel. Like, you have your own unique cycles, right? It's not set out the same for everyone. And then number 5, another thing that makes a creatrix woman so powerful is that she knows to choose herself. So she takes care of herself and listens to herself first and foremost. And with that, I mean that we're filling up our own cup first so that it can overflow to others, right? And not feeling guilty about taking care of ourselves. This is really about listening to our intuition, following our urges, and that knowing of doing and being that I just talked about, and what to do when and why. You know, one of the things that's coming up right now is that feeling of, like, when my husband, for example, if he asks me, what are you doing? What did you do today? Right? It always makes me feel like I have to be doing something, which is not necessarily true, because a lot for me, and I'm starting to realize this more and more and more, of being a woman is to just be, right? To be that nurture space holder for emotions and energies. And so I had to communicate that. Like, it makes me feel uncomfortable when you ask me every day, what did you do, right? Because sometimes I feel the need to not do anything and just be. So I hope that makes sense. So those were the 5 things of what it means to me to be a creatrix, to co-create with the universe. And I am sharing this with you because these things, like, they made a big difference for me in my life and how I approach things. You know, from being super stressed all the time about everything and planning ahead and worrying about the future, it really helped me switch to surrendering more and more and finding that balance between doing and being, that masculine and feminine. And these 5 things are very much the foundation for the 8-week Artemis course that starts next week, because these practices have been very crucial for me in my own spiritual journey. And what is really fun and kind of surprising almost is that Artemis, her archetype, all her archetypes, because she has so many, really beautifully mirror these practices and ancient wisdom teachings, right? her archetypes and her stories and these tools and practices that I've been applying into my own daily life have led me to really being here for you, right? Being here for you now in this moment for you to experiment and explore and play and dive deeper with me and Artemis to your own creatrix powers. And it's I'm very honored that I get to share this with you. And yeah, if that resonates with you, you can find more information on maggieswisdomcircle.com/Artemis. And on that page that has all the information. And you can also schedule a 30-minute call with me for free to see if this is the right journey for you at this time. And yeah, thank you for being with me here today. Very excited to share these things with you, and I would love to hear your perspective as well. And I would love to welcome you into the Artemis Temple, sister. So that was it for now. Bye.